Heels. Memphis now 5-5 all time in the American Athletic Conference Championship. Tigers are 3-4 now as the number 5 seed in the tournament. Three and 0 in the tournament when they are the higher seed than their opponent. This was the second game between the number 5 and number 12 seeds in tournament history. Memphis played in both, has gone 2-0. And Tulane now 2-5 all time in the tournament, has lost their last 4 games in the championship. The Tigers advance to face number 4 seeded UCF. That game will be tomorrow at 1 Central, 2 Eastern, televised on ESPN2. Those two teams split their regular season series. Each team won on its home floor. Memphis won 77-57 here at FedEx Forum on January 27th. UCF won 79-72 in Orlando on February 16th. Okay, Memphis is here. Good afternoon. Coach, welcome. All right, good. Step right up. Yep, absolutely. All right, we'll do a quick intro of you. Okay, as a reminder, please silence all cell phones and devices. Our format will be as it will be for the whole tournament. We'll take an opening statement from Coach and then open up to questions for Coach and the student athletes, after which time we'll dismiss Memphis and bring Tulane in. That said, Coach, get your opening thoughts on the game, please.
Well, it was one of those games where, Tulane to us had nothing to lose because they didn't win a game in conference, so we knew they had a week to prepare for us. We knew they were going to have something going with Jeremiah where they were going to try to make someone else beat them. And we prepared really well for them and got into the game and started off slow, kind of pushed away, and then kind of got lax. And, being up 20 and just went away from our game plan. And luckily for us, we got the game back under control and was able to pull a win out.
We'll open up to questions for Coach Hardaway and student athletes Jeremiah Martin, Kevon Davenport. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, and please introduce yourself for the benefit of those at the podium.
Yeah, this is Isaac Simpson from Rivals, TigerSportsReport.com. This question is for Coach. Going into the game, was there any specific plan as far as minute distribution? And had several guys that went well over 20 minutes tonight. Did it exceed what you thought you'd have to play guys into the second half?
Well, we felt like we had to do what we had to do to win the game, because if you lose this game trying to, manage minutes, then you don't play tomorrow anyway. I mean, it just is what it is. It's an early enough game, for the guys to get hydrated, get off their feet, and be ready for tomorrow's game, even though it's an early game. We would have loved for everybody to play under 20 minutes, but, we're not disrespecting Tulane. We felt like if we came out and took care of our business in the first 5 to 10 minutes, that we could push the game away, but we can never push the game away, so that's why the starters had to play so many minutes.
Another question in the front, please.
Anthony Robinson with WeDon'tBluff.net. What did you see from the sideline that allowed their defense to slow you down a little bit in the second half?
Well, all they did was load up on Jeremiah, and it was up to him to make the right decisions. And the other guys, to capitalize on those double teams. Every time he got the ball, we're going to watch on film. People were open. They just have to make plays. We had a lot of turnovers in the second half as well. So when he gives that ball to those guys, they got to make plays. We should be used to this by now.
Today, was that something you planned on, or is that more of a result of just he took what the game gave him?
Yeah, no, Mike came out and played phenomenal. This was his best game of the year by far, which is at the proper time. 13 rebounds is definitely his high on the year with 14 points. I might have sat him too long trying to get Isaiah Maurice going, because we're going to need both guys for the entire tournament, but he played a phenomenal game.
In front with Mark.
Jeremiah, how important was it for you guys, not just today, but just for the rest of this week, to get Kevon, get Mike, get Tyler, get guys like that going? How important do you think that'll be moving forward?
It's like how it's been important all year. Coach, one thing Coach said, we're gonna need everybody. So that's everybody he put in. We're gonna need from the guys on the bench that don't even play. So it's great when you get production around the board, because it's easy and it make stress less on the people that need to make plays.
Other questions? Brian, over here, please.
A question for Jeremiah. Not about the game, but yesterday they came out with the conference awards. I wonder if you felt at all snubbed about not winning Conference Player of the Year.
No, I just feel like I didn't do enough. This is something I'm not worried about. I'm worried about winning, the conference tournament. So that's out of my control. I'm just going to come out and just play hard every game.
Other questions? Go over here, please.
It's for Coach. Did you tell Tyler coming off the bench that he had the green light? Because it seems like the second he stepped on the floor, it seems like he was ready to let it fly.
Yeah, Tyler does have the green light. We want him to understand time and score for sure, but we want him to always have confidence that he can take, because he feels like he can take and make any shot that he takes, and we want him to stay smart about what he does and give him that green light for sure. He needs to look for a shot, because he's a weapon. He's going to draw a double team pretty much or definitely a face guard like Jeremiah does. And that helps us out. That helps us really spread the floor, because when he comes on, they have to really respect that. But, yeah, he does have that green light.
Look over here to the right.
Coach, looking ahead to UCF, what challenges does it bring trying to prepare for a team for a third time in a season, and what kind do you expect from them in this game?
Yeah, we felt like, in both games we had a really good game plan. So we feel like they're going to make adjustments on what we did to them to affect them. Here we had a really good game and beat them by 20 down there and went to the wire. They have a really good team. They actually might be the hottest team in our league right now, but the way that they finished the season and put themselves in the top 25. So the challenges are going to be that this is the third time. The things that we were successful at, they've had a chance to work on them because they, out of us in Tulane, they probably figured, well, Memphis is probably going to win that game. So they've had a lot of time to prepare, and then they watched us today. So they're going to make some more minor adjustments. So we're going to have to be hitting on all cylinders tomorrow.
Back in front over here, please.
This question is for Coach and the guys as well. Obviously, physically, it's tough to possibly have to play 4 games in 4 days, but mentally, how do you prepare for a game every day like that if you had to play 4 games in 4 days? How tough?
We just day to day with it. We taking every game one at a time, and we're not looking past the game that we have right in front of us. So we know that we up for 4 games, but we just taking it one game at a time.
Keep on.
He says the same thing. Honestly, with us as coaches, we're always just kind of brainstorming, and we'll just take each game, like Jeremiah said, one by one. And we've already played these teams, so we know what they're going to run. I mean, even though they had a week to make some wrinkles, there's only so much you're going to make, changes you're going to make right before the conference tournament. And we're familiar, so mentally, we just got to get ready that we know that they're going to do something to try to take Jeremiah out of the game. And physically, they just have to get their rest and hydrate for sure.
Go over here to the right.
Terry Davis, Tri-State Defender. Coach, this is your first conference game. What kind of jitters? You said you have no nerves all year. What kind of jitters you had coming into the game, and what do you think about the ovation you got when you walked on the court?
I was actually shocked about the ovation. I'll answer that first, and that was great because they showed the appreciation, and it shocked me, but it was definitely a warm welcome. It kind of got my juices flowing when I got that ovation because that ovation to me lets us understand that we know how serious this is for you guys, and we're here to support you. The first part of that question? Oh, no butterflies today. I just feel like when it's this time of year, that's when I look forward to this time of year. I try to stay as calm as I can because I feel like I have to think the game out, the entire game, but I haven't gotten the butterflies yet. They weren't there today.
Stay in front over here.
This one's for Penny and Keevan. Penny, Keevan kind of held you guys through in the second half there when they started teaming up on Jeremiah. Just how was he able to keep you guys going and keeping that lead? So
yeah, he made some big shots, made some big plays, penetrated. They had a 5-man guarding him, and he's too quick for that. So he decided the floor was too. It was not enough spacing for Keevan to really get going. We didn't really recognize just to get spacing and allow him to work more because he could have done more things. But the things that he did in the second half was basically knocked down his jump shot, and then he took advantage of his speed against the 5-man and made plays because they tried to take Jeremiah out of the game.
They was taking Jeremiah out the game. So, like Coach said, I had a 5-man, so it was just basically about making plays. Just driving past and knocking down open shots, I get help out the team.
Okay, time for a couple more. Back to Mark.
Penny, it seems like the city and the fan base have been talking about this tournament and maybe winning 4 games in 4 days for a while. How do you? I know it sounds like you've got these guys focusing on one game at a time. Has that been something you've struggled with, like keeping them focused on? Like UCF is a really good team, and you have to. How do you keep the noise that's going on out, here playing the tournament in the city, from your locker room, basically?
I think, the Tulane game, to me, was a trap game because everybody was saying you're going to win when you guys play UCF, and that's when you get into trouble. So more so towards that game, they know UCF is ranked top 25 team. They know how we played them twice and know how good they really are. So we're not going to, come into the game complacent against those guys, even though we didn't today. But hearing that about Tulane could get you to fall asleep a little bit. But UCF, you don't need much to get up for those guys. You know that they're good. If you don't come to play, then they're going to blow you out.
Have it in the front here, please.
Coach, the Memphis State uniforms, was that we're going to do that because it worked so well with the enthusiasm the last time you wore them out?
No, we kind of talked about that. We wanted to wear them as much as we could, but I think after today, we might fall to the away team uniforms. because of the bracket and how it falls. And this will be the only time that we would have been able to wear them, I guess, the way the bracket goes.
Warm-up shirts that they had on.
Yeah, that's Nike. Nike just, with everybody, that's Nike family around the country. We wear those shirts. That was all about Nike. That wasn't our own doing. That was Nike gives all the teams. They had the same ones on, and their colors. It is about family with us as well.
Final question over here.
Jeremiah, you and Mike really seem to be in sync, especially in the first half there. I mean, what were you seeing with him and how, I guess, his presence was inside, especially early in the game?
It was just Coach tell me every day, and like before the game, he told me to be looking out for the team, to be trying some different stuff, and Mike just was in the right place at the right time. Like Coach always tell him, screen, roll hard, you're going to be open. He just trusted what Coach said and trusting the game plan because we knew it was going to be open.
Memphis, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, joined now by Tulane head coach Mike Dunleavy and student-athlete sophomore Caleb Daniels. I'll begin, Coach, with an opening statement, if you would, and then we'll take questions.
Yes, obviously disappointed we lost the game. First half for us, I thought, we let some things get away from us, mainly a lot of loose ball opportunities and some of the turnovers that we made against their pressure, and we kind of righted that in the second half. But the overall theme I felt for us was the fact that we missed a lot of opportunity baskets right around the hoop that we didn't finish on and that they did. I thought their bigs were able to shape up and make scores, and then of course at the end we cut it back to 7, but then we went to fouling and the game got away from us.
Take questions for Coach or Caleb, please. Here in front.
Coach, you've played this team several times this year, and there's been talk and different reports. What has it been like on your end preparing for a Penny Hardaway coach team?
Well, I mean, look, Penny runs a lot of good stuff. Really, it's geared to the personnel. I thought we did a pretty good job on Jeremiah Martin today. Having seen he got 43 against us the last time we played here, and he had a 41-point game in the second half. So, scheming for him, I thought we did a pretty good job. I mean, he had 21, but probably 8 or 10 of those at the end of the game we had a foul. But he's a tough customer. His ability to take you off the dribble and how he stretches the floor is tough. Their size, and I thought their guards made some nice plays and drop-off plays to their big guys. I mean, Parks was 6 for 6, and all layups and 13 rebounds. Overall, I thought they're a really well-coached team, and the things they run, puts pressure on your defense to do things correctly in order to give yourself a chance to stop the plays.
Stay in front.
And final question: how do you and your team build off of this experience right now?
Well, look, it's been a terrible year from our standpoint. Obviously, if you don't win a game all year in conference, but part of it is, circumstantial. We we got caught in a perfect storm. Our starting point guard from the last 2 years, Rayona Embo, has been out the whole year. We penciled him in to play 30 to 35 minutes a night. We didn't recruit another freshman point guard because of we had a transfer, Jordan Walker, who sits 1 and plays 3. That we're really pleased with potentially what we have coming back at that position. But we got caught a little shorthanded this year and had to fill in. Jordan Cornish is really a wing player, having to play the point. Caleb would have to play some point for us. Shaquan Barrett, redshirt freshman, played some point for us. So, that's one of the areas where, for the year we turned the ball over a lot. But the good news for us was that we got a lot of freshmen, great experience. 3 of our freshmen, real freshmen, had great experience. They got game experience tonight. Coming into the season, we were ranked, I don't know what it was, 330-something out of 350 NCAA teams as far as experience. Well, we got a lot of freshmen with a lot of good experience this year, and our redshirt freshman, Boya Coca, our 7-footer who broke his hand, he was starting for us and playing well also. So our nucleus of what we have coming back next year, I think, is really strong. I think we're going to have a major turnaround, and I'm excited about who they are and what they've been doing at home in practices, and and just for us to get the depth that those guys will bring to us.
Other questions? Caleb, if I could ask you, kind of echoing what Coach says, this was a game that was a 23-point game with about early in the second half, and yet you make it a run towards the end there, hold them without a field goal for the last 5 minutes. What does it say about the character of your team and give you hope going into next year?
Although we're a bunch of young guys, we just never quit fighting. We never give up. You never know what could happen. You keep playing hard. You never know where the chips are going to fall. And that's been something that we've been priding ourselves on the whole year. It's just playing hard. It doesn't look like that in the records column, but, for the future, we're going to be something special for sure.
And just the growth of our team being led by Caleb, his jump of game, from his freshman year to his sophomore year right now, and the way he's finished it up, 19 points today with a whole defense that's geared towards him. He had 36 the other night against Wichita State. And again, having the differences, last year having 2 guys on his team that were NBA players right now, you didn't see the attention. Now he's had to deal with, double teams and traps and, guys, putting their best defender on him. So again, I thought he had a great year for us, and his growth was, something that, for us going forward, the type of player we know he can be in terms of being able to carry the load, he got some great experience of doing that this year.
Any other questions? Tulane, thank you.
Great, thank you.